So, I wanted to talk about the problem with trying to be good at everything. Now, this can mean a couple different things for different people. For one, this could be just trying to strive to be as perfect as possible at everything. But there's also the more, I would say, relevant aspect in today's world, which is trying to be proficient in too many things. Because honestly, if you're on the internet, which I assume you are if you're listening to this video, everything is being pushed to you. You need to learn these skills, you need to be able to do this, and you need to be able to do that. And anyone can learn anything with the power of the internet, and it's very overwhelming. And while some of it is certainly positive, I do think that it has caused, particularly my generation, which is that later Gen Z generation, to sort of become overstimulated with the possibility of greatness. So instead of that being, okay, you need to get really good at this one skill because it's very fulfilling, it can get you a lot of career opportunities, whatever it may be. It's like everyone's trying to be good at nearly everything. So when I was younger, I hated being bad at something, and to a degree I am that way still. So like, for example, like if I don't think I'll be good at something, I don't try it. And that's held me back in a lot of different ways. I would argue more social than anything else, I think, because, for example, when I was younger, if I got invited to play basketball, I didn't go because I was like, that's not what I'm good at. I did martial arts while I was growing up. That was what I was good at. I wasn't good at, the more athletic side of things, big jumps, aiming the ball. Like, that's not really what I was good at. I was good at more the physicality side of things, but that's where my strengths were. So if it was something that wasn't that, I didn't go do it. Now, does that come from a place of self-imposed, or is it embarrassment? I honestly couldn't tell you. I don't think it's necessarily good or bad. Now, as I've gotten older, it's certainly become less trivial stuff like outdoor activities, and it's become more skill set for my career or even my personal life for that matter. It's because I have an obsession to try to be good at a bunch of different things. I've kind of designated myself as the problem solver, but I'm not necessarily the expert in anything, if that makes sense. I'll give you 3 things that I feel that I'm good at. I am good at photography, I am good with computers, and I am good, I guess, at car knowledge. There's a better way to word that, I suppose. So, in the problem solving aspect of things, when my friends need some photos done, they come to me. Or when they need help with their computer or building a computer, they know someone wants to build a computer, they go to me. If someone has questions about something they want to do to their car or what car they should buy, they come to me. Now, do I think that there's some part of me inside that like enjoys that fact? Absolutely. I like, it's not even necessarily being wanted. It's more like it feels good to help people. It feels good to solve their problem. But I think the inherent issue is you get addicted to that feeling, so you start just doing it with multiple things. I'll give another example. So where I worked, I could pretty much do anything there, but I couldn't do any of it really great, if that makes sense, because I was so stretched thin. Part of it was the way it was structured, but another part of it was just the way my brain is structured. So for example, I can do graphic design, I can do the social media, I can do Excel data, I can work the website, I can even cut and print physical marketing material, whatever, like literally whatever it was, I could do all of it, and I could do it well. I want to make that clear that, even if you do things well, the hard part is when you don't specialize in something. And I've been realizing that recently. And I kind of want to basically give it not just advice, but also guidance for people that might feel that way too. Is one, the first thing is that's okay. Especially if you're young. Like if you're under 30 and you feel this way, that's fine. Like it's not a big deal, because that will be valuable not only in life, but to certain employers. I do think it will be a valuable thing. But I think it's very important to start trying to hone in on what you're really good at. Stop adding things and start looking at what you already know and picking which ones to enhance. Because not only is it important from a financial standpoint, like if you can do these one or two things really well, you're going to get paid for it, because talent is a finite thing. There are only so many people. As college graduates grow, and as I'm sure you all know, the job market is absolute hell. The good thing about it is that I think it's a little easier to stand out due to the saturation. So that's what I've been trying to work on. And I feel like it's working to a degree, being able to tell people, here are the things I'm good at. I found that I get a lot better reactions from outlining 2, maybe 3 things that I feel that I'm exceptional at. Even if I don't really believe it yet, I'm working on it. I've picked 2 or 3 things that I decided I want to be really good at, beyond just doing well at. I just feel like I've gotten better reactions from stating those things and being like, oh, I can do anything. I can do this, and this. Not only is that an expected answer, like I can do a little bit of everything. People don't really want to hear that anymore. They want to hear what I think I'm the best at. When you think about it, anyone can do a little bit of anything. I do think that it does take some talent and some level of determination and willpower to be able to be proficient in a lot of things. But I think this obsession with trying to be good at everything has overall hurt me in the long run. And I'm trying to fix it while I'm still young-ish, before I get too deep into my career. But I also don't want to make this all just about career. Like, I do think it's important for your personal life because it can affect your hobbies as well. So, like, for example, like, if you really like doing 5 to 6 things, there's 6 things that you just feel like you're good at. And the problem is that then it becomes very overwhelming. Now you have 6 hobbies that you're trying to keep up with, and then you're going to fall out of some, and it's just going to upset you. Whereas if you have about 2 or 3 hobbies that you're not just really good at, but even if you're not good at it, just you really enjoy it, you really feel passion from it. I think focusing on those is honestly more important than anything else. Like, really outline what are the 3 big hobbies that I enjoy doing. And not just that I'm quote unquote good at, but also feel some level of fulfillment after doing it. So, like, for me, it's been photography, video games to a degree, and working on my car. Those are the 3 things that I can do, and I feel great after doing. Touching on the video game side, I will say, whether you play games or you don't play games, if you don't play games, this might not make much sense, but I've really only tried to focus on games that I just like playing. I don't try to just play whatever is new or whatever. Now, if something new comes out and it looks great, I might go get it, but more than probably any other time in my life, I've just been replaying games that I really like. I've probably replayed Elden Ring 10 times in this last year. That's actually being generous. It might be more than that. Playing Doom Eternal, which is one of my favorite shooters of all time. Playing The Witcher 3. Just playing games that I know I like, because as free time becomes more finite as well, I just don't find the need to waste time on games that I either don't really love or I don't find very fun. Side note, that's why I think Marvel Rivals has been such a breath of fresh air, because it's actually really fun and I can get on and play for 2 or 3 games and be satisfied for the most part, unless I join competitive and get slapped. But overall, I think one of the biggest issues today with our influx of information is that we feel this sort of ticking time bomb. And I do think it's rooted in having general anxiety, but I think even if you don't have anxiety per se, it can still affect you, because you got this world out there that is telling you need to learn this is a high income skill, you need to learn this, you need to learn this. And I think I found myself doing it, and I think a lot of people do it too, is they feel like they need to go learn all these things because I've heard, well, this can pay really well, and this lines you up for really good degrees, or not degrees, but just like really good jobs and all this stuff. And I feel like we've forgotten to look at, well, what brings you fulfillment. Because I think I have to believe that there's a way to have both. I think we have this issue, or at least I do, of getting tunnel visioned on profit only. Now, unfortunately, everything, especially for our generation, is extremely expensive. We got not the best hand. Pretty much anyone in my generation, as soon as you were done with high school or college, you entered a world where houses had nearly doubled in price. Groceries have probably over doubled in price. So all the basic needs have gone up by a lot. You know, as someone who's also in the car world, yes, it sucked to have seen cars skyrocket to what they have. You know, the fact that a Mustang GT runs you almost $50,000 is absurd. That's never what that car was supposed to be. Like, that was the working man's muscle car. That's what that was. And you know, so that sucks. But at the end of the day, as much as I love cars and I'm super passionate about them, one, they're doable if you look hard enough and do your research. But also, they're not needed. Well, I should say, a nice car is not something you need, whereas food and shelter are. So that is inherently kind of the issue, is we have this innate need to just, how do I make the most money? And I can promise you that trying to be good at everything will not work, whether it's for money or fulfillment. With that said, trying to just find one thing that only fits one of those is also detrimental. Now you're probably thinking, wow, this sounds like a small box. It is. And I'm still trying to figure out mine, so I'm not preaching, don't get me wrong. I'm basically just sharing the hours upon hours of thoughts that I've had on this issue kind of condensed into this video. And so basically what I'm urging is that basically to calm down. Calm the hell down. Stop trying to be great at everything and stop trying to find the one magical skill that's going to bring you a mansion. There is a middle ground, and I think it starts there. Being good at everything really doesn't do much for you. So that's basically all I want to talk about is this notion of being good at everything, and to stop worrying about that and to just start finding what fulfills you. And I do think, obviously, in today's world, like I just talked about, you do have to find something that's profitable. You do have to find something that is going to allow you to live comfortably. But fulfillment is number one. You know, I found that I'm a problem solver. And I think that me, quote unquote, trying to be good at everything has kind of labeled me as that. So I'm trying to lean into that. So, you know, I'm looking into different, not necessarily different career paths, but different niches of my current career and trying to play to that strength of problem solving. So sometimes you can look at, why do you feel the need to be good at everything? What allows you, maybe you are good at everything, but what allows you to do that? Because you need to lean into that. Because I just don't think in today's world anymore that it is as regarded of a skill to be that jack of all trades. I think there's a place for it in certain worlds, but I think overall being a specialist is the goal, and you could apply that for your career and your personal life. You know, you don't need to be good at everything in your personal life, but if you're really good at managing your personal relationships, then you've probably got it made more than 90% of people. So that's it for today's video. I would like to make more content. I certainly hope I keep up with this. I've kind of been nostalgic for like old school commentary videos, so I don't know if every conversation won't be deep. I promise you that. Some will just be rants, some will be just general discussion, whatever it may be. I think it's a really cool concept. Kind of a digital journal for me, and maybe if anyone listens, it can work for them. So yeah, that's pretty much it.